In this video, we'd like to show you how easy it is to set up Eve shutter switch. In the box, you will find mounting screws, the manual with a matter setup code. You will want to keep this in a safe place for future uses. Safety instructions. Eve shutter switch, including the switch unit, the frame and fixing frame, and the switch plates. Safety instructions. Please note, Eve shutter switch requires a neutral wire and is only intended for use with copper or copper-clad wire in dry indoor locations. Only authorized electricians may connect, install, and set up Eve shutter switch. Prepare the installation. Before you start installing Eve shutter switch, turn off power to the circuit breaker associated with the shutter. Ensure power is off by switching your existing shutter switch up and down multiple times. Remove the existing shutter switch. Remove your existing wall plate and shutter switch. Only proceed with the installation if there is a neutral wire in the switch box. These are usually blue and are required for installation. The line wire is usually brown and connected to input L. In our case, the wires that lead to the shutter are black and gray. Note how they are marked on your current switch. Taking a picture of the wiring can make it easy to remember which wire is responsible for opening or closing. Detach the wires from your existing switch. Further information can be found in the enclosed manual. Connect Eve shutter switch. If necessary, branch off the neutral wire using a suitable clamp. Connect the wires from the shutter motor. Connect the gray wire that's responsible for opening the shutter to the up arrow output. Then connect the black wire to the down arrow output. Connect the line wire to output L of Eve shutter switch. Then connect the neutral wire with output N on the switch. Mount Eve shutter switch. You're almost done with the installation of Eve shutter switch. Place the power unit in the flush-mounted socket and secure it with the screws. Make sure that the outputs point downward during assembly, so you can be sure that the arrow plates show the correct direction. Place the frame on the switch unit with the logo in the right bottom corner and secure it with the fixing frame. Then press the rocker switches onto it. In your fuse box, switch on the fuse dedicated to the circuit of that shutter switch. You should now be able to move your shutter by pressing Eve shutter switch. Add Eve shutter switch. Eve shutter switch features Matter technology and is a breeze to integrate into your smart home. Before proceeding, please make sure you have a compatible hub of the platform of your choice, including thread border router functionality. If you're not sure, visit evehome.com/hub to learn more. To add Eve shutter switch to your favorite smart home platform, simply tap Add Accessory or Add Device in the Apple Home, Samsung SmartThings, Amazon Alexa, or Google Home app. On supported phones and platforms, you can also unlock your phone and move it close to Eve shutter switch to start the setup process. If your platform of choice is Apple Home on iPhone or iPad, we recommend adding Eve shutter switch through the Eve app, available for free on the Apple App Store. This will automatically guide you through the setup of the end positions. Scan the Matter setup code and proceed with the setup process. Set end positions in the Eve app. After adding Eve shutter switch to your home, end positions must be set to always display the correct position of your shutter. During the setup with the Eve app, you will be prompted to completely open and close the shutter. Simply hold down the button in the app and release it when your shutter stops moving. Set end positions manually. If you have added Eve shutter switch to a platform without support for the Eve app, you can set them directly on Eve shutter switch. Start by pressing the top left and bottom right corners of the switch plates for 3 seconds and release them once you see the LED blinking yellow and blue. If your shutters aren't already fully up, press and hold down the up arrow now to fully open your shutters. Next, press the top left and bottom right corners again for 3 seconds and release them once you see the LED blinking green and blue. Press and hold the down arrow to move your shutters all the way down and release it once your shutter stops moving. Press the top left and bottom right corners once more for 3 seconds until you see the LED blinking yellow and blue. Release the two buttons and press and hold the up arrow to roll the shutters back up. Release it when your shutter stops moving and press the top left and bottom right corners one last time to exit setup mode. If the setup was successful, you'll see the LED blinking green. If the LED is blinking red, please wait 1 minute, then try again. Now you have completed the installation of Eve Shutter Switch. Get more out of Eve Shutter Switch with the Eve app. Eve Shutter Switch offers many useful additional features in the Eve app. In addition to configuring your end limits, you can also set a favorite shading and ventilation position. Schedules are one of the most convenient features of Eve Shutter Switch. Once you set up a schedule, it will be transferred to the device so that the shutter can be automated. Even if Eve Shutter Switch isn't connected to your home hub, different schedules can be set for specific days of the week. Available in the Eve app for iPhone and iPad, adaptive shading automatically provides protection against the sun without fully darkening the room. Enable adaptive shading, then tap the settings text in the room view or navigate to the settings of Eve Shutter Switch. Set your window direction based on the compass of your phone by holding it directly to the window with the top edge touching the glass. Set the desired shading position of your shutters. Your shutters will move to this position while the sun can enter the window, and fully open when the sun can no longer enter the window. If needed, adjust offsets to account for larger trees, buildings, or other obstructions that might impact the shading. Now you have successfully set up Eve Shutter Switch. Enjoy! Siri, open my shutters.